The boy took a sip of dirty water on the ground. He turned into a goat in the blink of an eye. By the time his sister realized it, it was too late. The crows circling overhead. Seeing that the first step of the plan had been accomplished, he flew back to the forest. After that, Isha sat on the wooden bench by the door every day, and combed the fleece for her brother. She told her goat brother a story, while secretly wiping away her tears. At that moment, a kind hunter passed by. Isha was still in pain. She didn't notice the man in front of her. It was only when she heard the horses neighing that she reacted. The man said he'd been traveling for days, and hadn't had any water. He hoped the girl would let him drink from the well. Isha was happy to help him. She even helped him go back to the house and find a ladle. The man wondered why he was crying so hard, and took a dipper of water and drank it. As he listened carefully to Isha's story, and looked at his goat brother lying on the ground, he told Isha not to be sad. When he went back to settle things down, he would come back here in the fall, and then he will take Isha as his wife, and treat the goat like his own brother. Isha was attracted to the man in front of her. She agreed to his request, and expected him to come as promised, and the man hoped that she would keep her promise, that he would come again, and with that, he mounted his horse and rode away. The man's sincerity comforted Isha's heart, and as time went on, she got used to the fact that her brother had turned into a goat. That day Isha brought the apples to the table. Her mischievous brother hid under the tablecloth. She knew he wanted to play hide and seek again, so she played along with him. But he wanted to go for a walk outside the house. In order to get his sister to agree, he offered to take the bell for him, so that even if he went far away, she could find him by the sound of the bell. The little goat left the house with a bounce in his step, and ran farther and farther away, forgetting that there was a wicked witch living in the forest. On the way, he played with the bells. Suddenly he saw a glowing crow. The raven deliberately aroused his curiosity, and lured him step by step, to a place that had been set up beforehand. When the goat came to a small hill, the raven, hiding underneath, instantly turned back into a witch, and took the goat away, so that his sister wouldn't find out. She ripped off his bell and threw it into the river. The sister didn't hear her brother's voice for a long time, so she went out to look for him. She searched many places but found nothing. Sadly, she went to the river and cried. At that moment, she saw a bell floating by. Isha was so scared that she stepped back, thinking that her brother must have been killed. But as she was about to pick up the bells, the raven pushed her into the river, and then, deep in the forest, and made the house with the horns to open the door in his direction, and the house moved slowly at his command. The witch went inside, and saw that the goat was still there. She reminded him not to expect Isha to come to his rescue. She's probably drowned in the river by now. The goat began to blame himself. It's all because of his playfulness. That's why he ended up like this. The witch adjusted the temperature of the stove. She told the boy to stay here. If he tried to escape, he would be stewed. The little mouse in the corner looked at the witch, who had already left. He decided to help the goat escape, so he bit the rope and told him to hurry and save his sister. The man came to Isha's house as promised. It was late fall. Leaves were falling everywhere. The man wanted to surprise him. He didn't realize that Isha wasn't home. He bowed his head in sadness. He thought Isha had already married someone else. Suddenly, he heard the sound of goats. It was a goat that had found his sister in the river. The man pushed aside the reeds to see what was happening. Suddenly he saw a man lying under the water. The man thought it must be the goat's sister. The man jumped forward without hesitation. The man went in the direction of the goat's call. He found Isha lying on the ground. He quickly picked her up and headed for the shore. The goat's brother also rushed over. The moment the man put Isha down, the green grass around him seemed to come back to life. The man gently stroked her forehead. He wanted to cry. At that moment, Isha suddenly woke up. She quickly recognized the man, but before the two of them could catch up, hid in the shadows, the witch reached out to them again. The man grabbed her hands. The witch turned into a raven and fled. They thought that was the end of it, but witch tried to attack again. The men took the bow and arrow from the ground and aimed it at the raven. He shot her through the heart. As the crow fell, it turned into a ball of flame, and it was extinguished the moment it hit the ground, and the magic that had been cast on the boy was lifted. The three of them were finally reunited, and the man took Isha back to the castle to be his wife.